Welcome back. We bring you another episode of Activated Talks. I am your host, Mr. Moving Clockwise, also known as Brendon. Today's guest is, okay, let me not just introduce her, let me let her introduce herself because I might add up some spice and all that. So, can you please introduce yourself?
Spice.
Let's hear from her.
Just your name and all that.
Hi everybody, my name is ZOE Hartley and I did clinical psychology at the University of Namibia and currently working with the Ministry of Health, an extended arm called SFH. It is an NGO and it's collaboration with the Ministry of Health mobile clinic, moving around regions, reaching out basically to the young people with any health issue related matter. Including counseling, including HIV related issues, how to deal with your HIV status and how to live with it, as well as anything else relating to matters that contribute to mental health issues like gender-based violence.
Wow, that's awesome. You say that's Ministry of Health, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. I hope you guys do understand. Activators, I hope you understand the Ministry of Health is practically doing something. You do understand that? Because you guys, per se, today's topic is going to be about mental health. I don't know if Brendon did introduce that. My name is Laurentius Mahongo, as well as Laurent Ashlam. That's my stage name. So, mental health is a very concerning topic within our communities that we want to sort of address and have, let's say, from a very, somebody who is directly involved with solving such issues within the community. So we are very happy to have you today. Please feel comfortable and feel welcomed, and please do open up to our audience and just tell them what exactly mental health is.
Okay. First of all, and most importantly and most honestly, I am nervous.
No problem with that.
Yeah, no.
I am nervous. Okay, another thing is, what is mental health?
Yeah.
Let's split it into two.
Yeah.
We have mental, which has to do with your mind. Okay, anything to do with your mind. Then we're talking about your nervous system. We're talking about your, we know about that by now. And then we bring in health, meaning to say that your mental capacity can be affected health-wise. Okay, so when you put it together, mental health, it's the level at which your mind deals with issues that you experience on a daily basis. Okay, so it's, for example, when you're dealing with a problem, your mind recepts the problem, okay, sees it as bad. How you react to it determines at which stage your mental health is. How you deal with different matters in your life. Okay, so mental health is a very difficult thing to describe, because what you may say as a mental health problem may not be to me, because I may see it differently. So mental health is diagnosed by a doctor, okay, to determine whether somebody is having a mental health problem. It is mostly diagnosed by a psychologist or a psychiatrist. Okay. What causes mental health problems?
Yeah.
What causes mental health problems? Mental health problems are caused by different factors. Okay. I would like to highlight three. Okay, that are a concern at the moment right now, and among students, among young people, and among our current generation right now. Not forgetting that the generation that came before us also contributed to our current mental health problems, because there was issues that was not dealt with in the past. Those were issues that nobody really wanted to take up on themselves, because they felt it's seen as I'm not crazy or I'm not mad, so why should I do? So basically, let me just quote it as saying, in the past they would say the soul cannot be treated. The soul cannot be treated. So mental health has relation to the soul as well. Yeah. So
So what do you have to say about you know people that go into mental health issues and they don't want to sort of visit a psychologist perhaps, people who can't really afford that particular way of treatment, and they sort of get advice from friends on how they're supposed to go about helping themselves. Like just within their friends on like, look,
like instead of
going to a professional, they get to be
rather
treated
go
by, they'd rather go to their friend because that's where they're comfortable as well. That's where they can be able to express themselves. What do you have to say about that? Is that acceptable? Yeah.
Okay, before I get to your question, let me just explain what contributes to mental health problems.
Yeah, sure.
I wanted to mention three, which was the first one. I wanted to talk about social media. Okay, social media is one of the contributing factors to mental health problems among young peers currently. Like how you're saying, many people will turn to not go see somebody, an actual specialist for their mental health problems. They will turn to their peers. Many turn to social media, which is also a very big problem because social media itself has a way of influencing people to do things based on what they see. For example, my peer is excelling, financially, for example.
Definitely.
But you do not know where they are, how they are attaining these finances or these assets they are having. So you tend to engage yourself in thoughts of feeling unworthy and or not, you are stuck or you are not. You're not where they are, so you start feeling bad or look down on yourself, or even begin to do activities that can engage you to reach at this level, but is affecting your mental health also, which is, for example, going to see older men in girls settings now, or maybe even beginning to live in debts, asking people for money, not
so
being able to pay back,
below your means,
not living according to your means,
trying
also
to live to impress, is that what we say?
Trying to live to impress other people, or trying to live to be at the standard of what you see on social media. Yeah, so basically social media is a trap.
It's a trap like
yes.
that.
Yeah, so those that do not want to go to see somebody, that's a different case because they need to understand the importance of talking to a specialist, because speaking to a specialist basically helps you understand where you stand as an individual. With a specialist, you begin to talk about, you get into a session, hi, how are you? Good, how are you? You begin to talk about yourself, just natural, ordinary conversation, asking you questions about how many, for example, teaspoons do you put in your sugar? Or have you had coffee or tea today? No, I had coffee because I like coffee and this and this. So this number of things you keep talking helps the therapist rather to pick up a few things that may be a contributing factor to your current problem.
So they look at the habits.
They look at your habits, they look at your past, they ask you questions about home, they ask you questions about your friends, what do you like to do, all these things. Put together, it makes you understand where a certain problem is coming from, or what is the root of a certain mental problem. Or you can't focus when you are studying because in the past, for example, you were beaten for actually not understanding your schoolwork. So you have the fear to sit and read because you're afraid someone is going to beat you up.
I used to be like that too.
Yeah, so those are also contributing factors to mental health problems, past issues or the way you were raised, the way you grew up, your peers, the type of people you had around you when you were growing up, so forth.
No, definitely. At some point you have people that with a mentality that says, in the olden days, there wasn't anything like that, like in the olden days people were just living by themselves. They didn't need any psychologists sort of to constantly keep up in check with them. If they're having an issue, they would rather talk to their mom or their friends. So they have that mentality per se. If people in the olden age used to live with mental issues and perhaps they wouldn't call it mental issues. They would just be like, this is normal in the society. What per se would you want to articulate on that? You know?
To them, it was seen as normal because in the past, none of mental health problems were diagnosed at all. And there were no machines to or draw blood from you to determine whether you are mentally stable or not. So
wait. So with mental health, when they have to check if you're mentally correct, they need to draw blood from you.
No. What I'm saying is that there is no type of test that they or a certain procedure that is done to your physical body to determine whether you are mentally fine or not. It is assessed in your behavior, in the way you relate on your day-to-day activities, and how you recept certain problems that come to you. You get people, for example, anxiety.
Yeah.
You know, anxiety can be referred to as a mental health problem as well, because with anxiety, its level of mental health problem, or its level of it being diagnosed as a mental health problem is actually, how can I put this? It's first anxiety. I'm anxious, fine. But later, if I do not deal with my anxiety or what triggers my anxiety, it may turn into a severe mental problem. Which can lead you to even turn crazy.
Okay. Talking about anxiety, can you also just name other different types of mental illness?
Depression is one of them as well. Depression.
So it's anxiety and depression.
There's anxiety. There's quite a number.
There's
quite a number. It's quite a number.
Anxiety,
depression.
Depression, anxiety. Then you have the severe, like schizophrenia, melancholy. Then you have a psychotic person, for example, is a person that turns, literally begins to do psychotic things without even the remorse to feel that what I'm doing is wrong or right.
I thought about the situation. So I know.
So how should we constantly check up on our mental health and remain on the right path?
How do you constantly check up on your mental health? Okay.
On your own.
On your own.
Yeah, on your own.
Meditation is one good thing. First things first. Meditation is one of the important things that you should do in order for you to. Sorry, let me just get a hold of something here for you guys.
Okay.
Just
meditation.
Very simple.
Meditation is real, eh?
Calm your mind.
But the same as prayer, though.
Prayer, meditation. Some people prefer prayer to be a meditation type thing. Yeah, I think it is. It is.
Meditate in different ways,
But people meditate in different ways.
People meditate in different ways. Okay, so for example, when you are meditating, right, you're speaking good things about yourself. Because with the mind of the body, affirmations, yes, with the mind and the body, it whatever you think is what you become, rather, or whatever you desire is what you get. Like the same as what you associate yourself with becomes who you are. Yes, becomes who you are. So what you think, for example, what you think in the morning when you wake up and you start thinking good, positive thoughts. Okay, today is going to be a productive day. Today is going to be, you speak good into your day.
And it actually
turns your confidence and your level of let me say your level of confidence and the way you are feeling helps the day even go by as easy. Even when you encounter something, your early morning affirmation to yourself actually helps you deal with it much easier, rather than waking up in the morning and you are stuck with quite a lot of different thoughts that occupy your mind, and then you're not taking time to speak to your inner self. That's one of the ways to deal with small mental problems. That, for example, you are not reaching out to someone else in the meantime.
Keeping everything to yourself.
Keeping everything to yourself.
Would you say mental health could lead to suicidal thoughts?
Yes, mental health can lead to suicidal thoughts because it's a level of overthinking that you reach. Okay, it's a level of overthinking that you reach. For example, when you have an issue, let me say academic issue. You begin to feel like you are not worthy, or you're failing, or it's too much, or you're just not coping. Factors may include health, for example, you're not well, you know, or your finances are not stable, you're unable to pay for your school, you have to think about how you're gonna pay. Your parents back home need some money from you as well. It's quite a lot of pressure. Sometimes you may even be involved in a relationship, and then it turns out that this person that you are involved with in a relationship is cheating on you, and then that's another problem that piles up again. Then, for example, you're doing your research, your lecturer is kicking you out of the office, telling you that you have too many problems. Get out of my office. You can't, you know, or you are not serious, but there's actually quite other problems that you are dealing with. These things pile up. To many people, it becomes, it's like a bottle, it becomes too full, and then the only thing it can do is explode. In other people, it explodes in engaging in drinking alcohol or even drug abuse. Others might just end it immediately.
Would you say maybe that's one of the causes to the large numbers or high numbers of domestic violence in Namibia?
Okay, that could be a high level contributing factor as well, because many men or women that abuse or are abused have past problems they are dealing with. Let me make an example of a male man that is abusing a woman, for example. He may have come from a home where he only saw that anything bad must be punished with a beating, nothing else. He saw his father do it, and his mother condoned it, and she actually began to feel like she's actually wrong for doing certain things, and she's beaten for it. Became submissive. Yes, so this young gentleman grows up with this, and in the end, because that's all he knows, and he has not healed or seen somebody about these childhood traumas that he has seen while growing up, he has no other way to deal with it but to execute it on someone else.
Most definitely. No, that's very insightful. That's very insightful. Now to speak of suicide in this sense, it's very concerning that we also need to start looking at our community, because in Namibia we have seen a tremendous rise in suicidal activities within the men's. I mean the male.
Oh, you mean now?
Yeah, the male community. Yeah. What do you think would you say is the leading factor to that? Because we have recently witnessed people really just taking their lives.
Their own lives.
Yeah.
Okay, let me take it in a Namibian setting. Okay. Within the Namibian setting, currently, men are. Let me just say, let me take it back from the traditional aspect of ways of growing up. Men have, they were raised with, be a man, deal with your problems. Okay, you are not going to cry. If you cried, you were beaten. If you cried, you were seen as a girl, or you were called, why are you being such a girl? Only girls cry. Be a man, men don't cry. And this young boy grows up knowing that I'm a man, I'm not gonna cry, therefore whatever problem I'm having, I keep it and I deal with it as a man. So now, already like that, that's a piling situation that's happening right there.
The bottle effect.
Yes, a bottling problem, you know. And as he grows, he still has that. The moment he encounters a problem actually that he needs to break down, or he needs to deal with it, he would not know how to do it.
It's like a trigger.
It's like a trigger, yes, it's like a trigger. Wow. And it's quite a number of them that actually escape, right, and do not commit suicide, but execute it in other activities like alcohol and drugs, okay. Now the one who commits suicide is one that has reached the point of, what's the point of being here right now if I cannot even deal with my own problems?
Is it a symptom, suicidal thought?
It's a symptom. Suicidal thought, it's a symptom. It's also, it not only also does it involve the fact that you're having a mental problem, or your problems have bottled up too much, now you can't deal with it, then you end your life. No. It also could be that you feel a sense of no belonging. No belonging. For example, you feel like I don't have a purpose in this earth. or I don't see myself being here, or what am I doing here exactly, then this young individual will actually want to end their life, even given the pressure coming from family as well, and friends even, or school.
I see.
It can be a lot.
Okay, that's very insightful. Now, in regards to the activators, could you please, inform them, tell them something that they can sort of look to, instead of them looking at suicide as an escape or as a solution to what they are going through. Could you perhaps just line it up or down to them?
Check, before we get to that, how about you just name the common symptoms that these mental health issues have, and then after that is when we get to that point.
Okay, common symptoms. Okay, let me make an example of depression. Okay, depression can be in two ways. Okay, let me just make one example. Depression can be in two ways. Number one, this person may appear as if they are very happy or they are fine, but when they go back home, they actually break down. So what I'm trying to say here is that you can't say that, you look fine, you're not depressed. No, I can actually be smiling, shining, my eyebrows are on flick, my hair is on point, but I am depressed.
That's how most of these celebrities, where we saw them as happy people, and all of a sudden you hear
that they are involved in drugs, or they have committed suicide, or they actually even raped a child, and you just don't understand where all that is coming from. Yes, and the person is on stage, glamour, but it's actually much deeper than it seems. Then there is another symptom, which is loss of appetite or gain of appetite. Obsessive eating. There's some people that want to eat their problems off.
That's
a symptom.
Like eating. Yeah, for real.
It could be sweet. Or you don't eat at all. Yes, or at all.
And then you lose. Okay.
You start losing weight. It can even show in the way, even when you walk into your bedroom, for example.
Yeah.
Yes. How is your bedroom? How does it look like? That also shows the state of mental of mental capacity. When you wake up in the morning, you have the principle to make up your bed immediately after you wake up, or you just leave it and can make it up when you come back, whenever time you come back.
Please make your bed up.
Because the moment you wake up and make up your bed, that already gives you a different mood to a day as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So just the way you arrange your things, how dirty are your dishes, for example, and how do you leave it for a day, or you deal with it immediately?
Okay.
That also shows where you stand in your mental capacity. Because if you don't see that is something wrong, then something is wrong.
So in other words, as somebody, everybody has a mental issue. It's just that the degree of to what extent is it? That differs.
That differs, that differs as well. And also, it differs because some people deal with things differently. Another person might find that I am dealing with this issue like this, it's helping me. But if I try and deal with my issue the same way that person is dealing with theirs, it might actually not help, and I might get worse. So what I'm trying to say to the activators here is basically
I like that.
try to identify your mental problem, or what actually is the issue with yourself. Try to identify what that is. It may be a past trauma, it may be a childhood trauma, or it may even be your current trauma or something you experienced not long ago from now. So try to assess those things, try to look at how you feel about it, and try to fix it. Okay? So there's another issue I want to mention, the inner child. Each and every person has an inner child, and that inner child is you when you were a child in an adult's body. So that inner child still cries to what has happened to you growing up. I may even have grown up I might have been raised in a mommy and daddy family, for example, perfect home, perfect everything. But when I grow up or come to university, I'm actually a drug addict. But you just don't understand. Oh, you were raised very well. But in my perfect home, probably daddy was never there. Or probably mommy was always shouting at daddy. small things, it wounded the inner child. So how do you identify a wounded inner child? Let me just mention a few points. A wounded inner child plays victim to everything. Oh yeah, it's whose fault? No, it's not my fault, it's your fault. You don't take ownership of your problems or ownership of your responsibilities or actions that you did. You always try to point it to someone else. Okay? So how to heal that inner child that deals with victimizing themselves? You take ownership of your things or your own problems. So another one is an insecure self. You are insecure. That is also a wounded inner child. It may have been whatever you did was not validated, or it was seen as, no, don't do that. Loved as a child was not seen as nice. So you develop what? Insecurities about everything you're doing, about yourself as well. So try to feel more confident, try to feel more secure. You assure this inner child constantly. Okay? Then let me just quickly run through it. Then then there's another one. You need external validations. Fans, for example, when you post a picture on social media, the only time you feel good is the number of likes you get on your picture. That's also looking for self-validation. That's a wounded inner child symptom as well. Another one is being afraid to be alone. Okay? So enjoy loneliness more. You are easily triggered by every little thing that is done to you. Always very serious. Always looking for the negative while you can actually look at things at a positive angle. You are filled with stress and you are filled with worry. That is a wounded inner child. You sit down with that wounded inner child, you tell that inner child something you were not told in the past, something mommy and daddy never said to you. You begin to tell that inner child, oh, you're beautiful, you can do it, you are smart, oh wow, you actually finished the whole book after studying, wow, that is very nice. You tell this to yourself. Trust me, your inner, you never got it. That inner child begins to hear, it begins to heal, and begins to see things differently, and it even gives your adult self a different approach to things in life.
That's powerful. That's really powerful. I don't know about you, the activators, but when we used to go to church, they usually used to say, we have reached at the part where the bread is to be given to the attendees. And then you'll be wondering, where's the bread? This was the bread and we just received it.
The Bible speaks in parable. As you said, apart from think that suicide is the way out of mental illness, what else can somebody think about?
Rather than them just looking about. I think that's what she highlighted. But we just want a more like a onset, sort of like a chance to those ones who are experiencing mental issues as they are watching or listening to this, be it that they know or be it that they don't know. Could we perhaps just offer them something that they can sort of identify if they are within the right path?
Okay.
Yeah.
Within the right path.
Like in terms of how they can look after themselves, so that they are just within that right mental state of being.
Okay. First things first, activators, you need to understand that each and every day is a trigger day for a mental problem. Each and every encounter or each and everything you do contributes to your mental health. Either in the manner you do it, whether you do it good or whether you do it badly, it all contributes to a state of whether you're going to be happy or whether you're going to be sad. So what I'm trying to say is choose your habits wisely. What you think about, make sure that you control your thoughts. Okay, that's just the basic start. Secondly, if your mental health problem is quite severe and you know for sure you are unable to deal with it, talking to a friend is not also something bad, okay? Venting to your friend is not something bad at all, but your friend may need help as well. And your friend is not really an expert in telling you the way forward or what to do, because they are your peer, for example.
Same age,
same level, probably same problem, just different people or just different situations, but still the same problem. Okay. Now, what I'm trying to say here is that try to seek more professional help. Reach out to that professional social worker person. You can reach out to us, the group of SFH.
Can I just ask a question before you say that? Where can one get free help, such as that? Like free, not
help,
pay.
not paying anything. Yes, okay, the Ministry of Health itself, the clinics offer social workers, quite a lot of social workers at clinics. You can actually go there and set yourself appointments for sessions. And that is free of charge. All you need is your hospital card, and of course they will create a file for you. Yeah, but it's free of charge as well. You have, if you are a student, for example, at your different campuses, there is actually social workers and peer social workers as well that are studying to do these things. So they are peer in order for you to relate better with them, but they are still taught or have a professional understanding to mental health problems. So you'll find it on every campus, even at the University of Namibia, you'll find. So make it a point that you actually reach out for professional help. Those that are having medical aid cards, you can actually go see a psychologist with your medical aid. There's a certain procedure or organizing that goes on with the medical aid.
So can I just get up on that Lifeline, Childline as well?
Yes,
Red
Lifeline,
Cross.
yes, Red Cross, but those ones deal basically mostly with issues that have to do with onset diseases.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Right. Now, with that out of
Not
the
in
way.
depth of mental health, like
definitely.
one-on-one. Yes.
No, we thank you so much for taking time to be here with us. Activators, I hope you have learned quite a lot of things from this episode.
We had more time to talk about it.
Yeah, we really, actually on every topic, that's how it is. We really need more time to talk about it. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of this episode. Until we see you next time. So please,
stay healthy.
Stay healthy.
Stay healthy.